Taoiseach, I want to ask you if you've reflected upon the decision of the High Court of Friday, where it decided that SIPO did not provide adequate reasoning for its failure to start a preliminary investigation into my complaint against Leo Varadkar. This complaint, I presume you remember, relates to his leaking of the confidential GP contract to the head of the rival NAGP organisation. At the time, you, as the rest of the government did, backed Leo Varadkar. We know that the SIPO decision was a contested one, the first in its history, 3 votes versus 2, with the Controller and Auditor General and the Ombudsman disagreeing with the decision to refuse a preliminary inquiry. We also know from an FOI that at the time the Ombudsman wrote and said, "A court order to reconsider rejection of a complaint would be appalling and would compromise the credibility of any subsequent decision we made." I wonder whether you have any reflection on the capacity of SIPO to investigate those in the highest of high offices and to hold them to account in terms of our ethics legislation.
Deputy Murphy, obviously I note the High Court judgment. SIPO is an independent body established by the Standards in Public Office Act of 2001, and how it proceeds in respect of any individual matter is indeed a matter for the Commission. I think it's very important that the Commission is obviously independent of government and the Oireachtas. Obviously it now will need to respond to the findings of the High Court in terms of how it wishes to proceed. More broadly, we are committed in the 2020 programme for government to reform and consolidate the ethics in public office legislation, and the Department of Public Expenditure, NDP Delivery and Reform is preparing a draft scheme for legislative reform in consultation with relevant ministers.